Every week, more than 30,000 students attend Bible classes at public schools across the nation. If you had no idea, I didn't either. And it's all thanks to LifeWise Academy. Founder and CEO of that organization, Joel Penton, joins us now. Joel, thank you so much for being here. I wrote a whole book about how the godless left has taken over the K-12 education system and kicked God out. Somehow you found a way to bring God back into public schools. How?
Well, what few people realize is that in 1952, the Supreme Court ruled that public school students can be released from public school during school hours if the program is off school property, privately funded, and students have parental permission. It's called released time religious instruction. We just became aware of this a few years ago, so we created a plug-and-play program that any community across the country can implement, and as you said, it's really starting to take off.
So you provide everything. You basically, the only thing you coordinate with the school is this is the release time. And once you've got that agreed upon from enough parents, then they get on your bus, you take them somewhere else, they get religious instruction, and then they come back. Is that how it works?
That's exactly right. We provide the tools, the templates, the process, the coaching to communities across the country. But local communities come together. They form a steering committee. They form a leadership board. We help them talk to the school. And yes, logistically, we pick students up at the school, usually in a big red LifeWise bus. We take them to a nearby facility, usually a church, teach them a Bible lesson, and bring them back. And we're often seeing huge participation rates. Often more than 50% of the entire school will enroll and get a Bible class as part of their school day.
Joel, I love this. And is it's, I've got to imagine it's all across the spectrum. It's city, it's rural. I mean, everywhere people are craving God back in school.
That's exactly right. We're seeing it everywhere. I'm in Columbus, Ohio, and in the most inner city, highest crime rate neighborhoods, we have LifeWise up and running. In the most remote and rural communities, in the most affluent suburbs, and we're, coast to coast at this point. We're confirmed next year to be live in Los Angeles, California, of all places.
Wow. Well, the American people are with you. Recent polling shows that 56% of Americans support teaching public school students biblical values. It was ripped out. You're right. The Supreme Court codified rejecting a lot of those things in schools, but you found a place where the Supreme Court said it can still happen. If our viewers out there are watching and they're interested for something like this for their kids or grandkids, where do they find more information? And walk us through just a little bit of how you do get this started.
Yes, well, it all starts with a signature campaign. It must be a grassroots effort. And so through our website, you can find any school district in the nation. So whether it's your school district where you live, work, or worship, or whether it's your grandkids' school district, you can go to our website, lifewise.org, find your school district, and voice your support. It starts with collecting 50 signatures in your community. So add your name to the list, share it with your friends. Once we see 50 signatures, now we can begin the process of getting that steering committee together, putting the plan together, and before long, there could be a Bible education program during school hours in every community across the nation.
That's really neat. For release time, real quick, is there a certain time of the day that it normally happens, a certain subject? How do you figure out what time they're released from what is otherwise mandatory instruction inside a government school?
Great question. It cannot infringe upon core classes, so it can't take the place of an English or a math or something like that. And so we work with the school usually as part of their specials rotation, things like art, music, gym class. It's built into that rotation. So maybe kids are opting out of an ungraded library time, or maybe they're coming during a lunch and recess time. But basically, we work with the school to put together a plan that works for everybody.
It's really cool. Joel, how did you figured out the constitutional part, but what brought you to this path, this journey?
I was actually inspired by a program in my hometown that started after I moved away. I live in Columbus, Ohio now. I'm from a small town in Northwest Ohio, and they started a release time program in 2012, saw nearly every student enrolled, 95% of the entire school enrolled. They came to me and said, hey, Joel, how come there isn't a program like this in every community coast to coast? And I said, well, I think you need to do is create a plug and play program that any community can implement to remove the barriers to entry because it's hard to pull off. And they said, that sounds like a good idea. We think you should do that. And that's kind of how it got started.
Amazing. Joel, I'm inspired. I mean, bringing Christ back to the public sphere and one school district at a time. Joel Penton, the organization is LifeWise.org. Check it out. You can do it in your backyard as well. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
Thank you.